Welcome to What Would It Cost? Today we're here with the entrepreneurs and absolute all-stars of HST Rebate Canada, Rachel and Idan, and Phil and Phil from Heavy Duty Homes, some real sophisticated cutting-edge builders and developers.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Absolutely.
So before we get into talking about, the construction side, what the renovations look like and the rebate aspect, how someone can take advantage of that, tell us a bit about yourself. So we'll start with HST Rebate Canada first.
Absolutely. So we get homeowners money back from the government when they build a brand new house, major renovation. We are basically a one-stop shop for all of the rebates that a homeowner is entitled to when they embark on a very large construction project.
Awesome. And Heavy Duty Homes, tell us a bit about that.
Heavy Duty Homes, we typically just do large scale renovations and custom home builds. And now we're starting to dip into developments, and we feel like we've kind of defeated Toronto a little bit, so we're going into the U.S.
Awesome. Love that.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
I love that. So
Amazing.
Tell us a bit about how, both of your two separate companies would combine, let's say, when someone's looking to renovate their home. Because we saw a lot of that through COVID. The price of houses were rising. So everybody's like, okay, let's rip out the equity. They're coming to us for either home equity line of credit or a mortgage. And then obviously they're renovating the property. So what's that look like on your side when, you're pricing out that property? And then how's it look on your end where it's like, okay, this is the maximum we could get? Mm-hmm. So we'll start with you guys first.
Basically, with our scale and caliber of work, a lot of people need to apply for certain loans and stuff like that, or construction improvements. A lot of them can't afford, or people don't have that kind of liquid to do what it costs. So often they'll start seeking out other companies and working on HELOCs and stuff like that.
Right.
And that's where we've kind of coordinated with these guys a little bit to try to combat the back end. So once the project is done, they kind of jump in and help out and say, okay, what have you guys spent with Heavy Duty Homes? Show us your receipts, show us your invoices. Maybe we can try to get some money back for you from the government.
Right. Yeah, it's awesome. Subsidize the cost a bit because taking on the mortgage, the construction,
little
something.
There's a lot of costs. There's a lot of logistics
exactly.
and fees that people don't see up front.
Right.
Which is huge, and it's what a smart builder and developer would do. They would find strategic alignments and partnerships with companies like these, because through COVID, given that the costs really skyrocketed with what it costs to build, essentially, this is you helping them subsidize what that.
And I will even add to that is that because the government is doing very poor work advertising the programs, that people can get the money back, getting this valuable information from builders like Phil and Phil at Heavy Duty Homes, informing the buyer or the purchaser or the guy who is building the house that he can get $16,000 on his HST rebate. He can get some other rebates and grants through the government through some other programs. It's just like it's the biggest value add. And
Right. So on the primary residence, what's that maximum amount you could get?
So on a primary residence, when you are either building a brand new home, gutting your existing home, or building an addition to your home, the max rebate is $16,080.
Okay.
And then once the client spent $300,000 on construction. If he did not spend $300,000, let's say he spent only $150,000, he gets about $8,000 to $10,000 back, but they can still claim the rebate.
Right.
If they spend well over $300,000, they obviously qualify, but the cap of the rebate is $16,080.
Okay. So anything over that 300,000, that's where you cap it.
Exactly.
And that is for the HST rebate. There's also some other rebates where homeowners get even more money on top of that. If you install a sump pump, backwater valve, there's more rebates that homeowners become eligible to. So we help them with everything. The HST rebate is a nice chunk of change.
Yeah,
it's $16,080. And from there we do all of the smaller rebates as well.
Right.
So Phil's wrapped this program around the Heavy Duty Homes sales deck, and let's say helps his clients out with that, but homeowners can contact you direct, right?
Absolutely. And, to the point of experience, like a team like Heavy Duty Homes that knows about the rebate, that can tell their client, you are eligible, contact Rachel and Idan, is a real value, because a lot of people have no idea that the rebate exists. And if they don't hear about it from their builder, from their designer, some people leave these rebates on the table purely because they just never heard about it.
Right.
So, working with companies like Heavy Duty Homes that, is on it and gets it, obviously obviously people are so happy to know that they can get some money back after construction.
Absolutely.
And the opportunity for them, it's also we can go 2 years retroactive from the time of completion of the project. So I was about to say, on one thing we can go retroactive, but if the 2-year time frame is gone, the rebate is gone. So it's very important, like Phil and Phil at Heavy Duty Homes, informing the client as the project goes. We get them the money in their pocket, and then they got more money to finish their properties, like doing some other work.
And a lot of people don't see it as a lot of money if they're spending $500,000 plus, and they're like, "Oh, well, you're only saving me $16,000." You got to consider it as your appliances could now be free, your paint is now free, like a line item off of ours.
Right.
So it's a good chunk when you see it as a value in comparison to something else that's on our build-out sheet.
Yeah.
So it has a huge impact the second I start comparing their rebate values to what we're selling on our estimate breakdown. And they're like, well, you know what, that is a lot of money. That's a whole line item gone.
Exactly.
Very cool. And this was news to us too, and we were so happy to hear about this product because, like you said, Idan, they're not doing a great job marketing it, as I'm sure they don't want to be dishing out that kind of capital. And here you guys are, and here's this platform, and we're letting you guys know. Contact them. They got money to give you.
We have seen over the years that, like, some people say, well, it's only 16,000 or 20,000 or 24,000 out of like $1 million project or a $500,000 project, but in the end of the day, we are all good Canadians. We're paying a lot of taxes to the government. When the government can give us something back, you claim it, you take it.
Absolutely.
A lot of our customers, we feel, they're happy with the location of their house, but they lived in it for 20, 30 years. So the houses are outdated. So they come to us and we will fully gut the house, renovate the house, and bring it up to a new standard, and you don't have to leave. But again, the biggest hurdle is they don't understand the HELOCs, the financing, the rebates, the energy rebates. So when you put all that on the table, your renovation becomes that much more attainable and achievable.
Right. And you guys are that one-stop shop.
Everybody's got that old school mentality where, no, I don't want a bill. It's not a bill. If you're going to do a build and get the value back in your home, and you're going to take that loan in the HELOC and you're going to do the rebate, you can get a proper build. You know, and a lot of people don't want to do that. They'll save $200,000 and they want to spend $200,000.
Right.
We got to teach them not to do that. You have $1 million plus in equity that you can do this renovation with.
Exactly.
I've heard it from you many a times in conversation where you guys really hit all angles of the business and you understand the full ecosystem of what has to take place, even outside of the construction aspect. And that's why we love working with you, and we were really impressed by your program, what you guys had to offer, is because you really do become that one-stop shop, and you put smart programs like this in front of them. You put the financing plan in front of them. You kind of draw it out as to how it looks, again, outside of the construction. So tell us a little bit about Heavy Duty and your approach and how you've really kind of changed as far as, you know, what's happening in the market with up and coming construction companies.
So essentially, the goal for us has always been, we don't ever want to just sell a product and see you later. It's always been relationship, future, let's do more. So by putting the right players in front of our clients, we can now grow their equity and create multiple properties and multiple streams of income, multiple renovations and jobs for us. So if we can do that, then we have a better future, and so do they. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Right. Yeah, it's giving that full service to them. Absolutely.
If we just sell you a product and take your money, you're in the hole, and we will probably will never see you again because you spent all your money on us. It'll take you a lifetime to save that again.
Exactly.
So true.
Exactly.
So true.
That's awesome. Well, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about what it would cost to do these full build-outs.
Are your refinancing needs not being heard? Sparks Mortgage Agents are here to listen. Michael is obviously stating that mortgage refinancing can often be confusing for applicants. Nick says that finding the best rate isn't always transparent, like water. Michael agrees. Nick hears him loud and clear. SparkFinancialGroup.ca guides you to renegotiate your existing mortgage at the best rate. Spark Financial Group, where finance creates freedom. Welcome back to What Would It Cost? We're sitting with Idan and Rachel from HST Canada and Phil and Phil from Heavy Duty Homes. So to get back into what would it cost, explain to us a bit of what the costs look like with these full renovations of a full gut of the property. Like you said, people are in these homes for 20, 30 years. They've appreciated their value. They have that equity there. What's that cost breakdown start to look like? Because a lot of people think, $300K, maybe it's hard to hit to get that full 16,000. But I think what a lot of people don't realize is, yes, the home value came up, but also the cost of building came up. So take us through that.
Well, a lot of people are not renovating on the regular, so they don't know what current prices are. They know what prices are from 15, 20 years ago. And then that was even pre-COVID.
Right.
Pre-COVID, a custom house, you'd be maybe $300-400 a square foot.
Right.
Post-COVID, you got lumber's gone up 400-500%. You got long lead times. Everything has skyrocketed in price. It's come down a little bit, but we're never going to be where we were. Now, a custom home, you're closer to that $600-700 a square foot. So with these
It's driving more people to renovate.
Yeah.
absolutely
Not build, yeah.
And then with the rebates, people are like, oh, I'm never going to spend that much on a renovation. You got your house, you're going to get there pretty quick with current prices. So
Right.
these rebates are what is going to help you to achieve that renovation.
And most people don't take into consideration on that rental. You got to do windows, doors, a lot of exterior deficiencies. These houses are 30, 40 years old. I tell people to budget $250,000 per floor if you want a heavy duty rental.
Right.
So you can easily hit a $750,000 budget every time with a renovation before you even tackle landscaping, pools, stuff like that.
Right.
Furniture.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta sleep on something.
So that's where the rebates come in. Almost every one of our client is over the 300 range at the blink of an eye. Now, if we're going back 5-10 years ago, everybody's at the $250,000 range.
Yeah.
So a new build in comparison to a renovation, what does that start to look like in cost?
Rental costs are now what new build costs were for custom homes 2 years ago. So now we're $300-400 a square foot for rental, where rental used to be $150 to $200.
Wow. Okay.
Everything's doubled.
Right.
And what's the process? So I want to, because I've seen a lot of your before and after. So you guys are completely changing the home. So what's that process? Is like, okay, I come to you, I want to, full 180 on this house. What's that start to look like?
Basically, you call us, or however which way you come to us, we do a quick discovery call. We jump on a phone call. I make sure that your ideas align with our ideas and that budgets work. If everything's good, we come out, see you on site, take a look at the place, do a little presentation in our office, give you the budget. If you like it and you sign up, then we move you over to Phil Games, which he then issues the job on a project software. And we give you a structured timeline, a start date, a completion date, progress payments, and milestone dates. And then we also give you a lot of the times what the house will be worth after. So I'll do a current appraisal and then a post appraisal after my drawings are done. So that's if clients need to reach out for construction loans as well.
Right. Which I think that's awesome
Yeah.
because, you're looking at the property right now. We can only appraise it for so much. Okay, here's as much as we could give you for that chunk.
Right.
Maybe we do an 80% mortgage right now. And then after that's great because you're showing them here's your your value after the fact. And then come back in and here's your home equity line of credit. Makes it a little bit easier. And then also, like you said, showing that appreciation of the value. Just, maybe it appreciated this much over 20 years, but doing this big rental is going to appreciate this much just in 6 months to a year. I'll
this is the thing. I'll give you one example. We did a house last year. It was worth $1.9 million. We pumped $500,000 into it. It got reappraised at $3.2 million.
Wow.
So they didn't have the liquid. They wanted to do the heavy duty rental.
Yeah.
The appraisal came through pretty high and they got the funds, no problem. And now their capital's free to make investments with us in Florida.
Right.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Because they didn't touch their savings,
Amazing.
do a half-assed job.
Yeah.
They did a good job
Yeah.
with their equity and have the capital free to invest in something that could potentially pay for this rental now.
Exactly.
That's heavy duty.
That's
Yeah. No, it definitely is, and that's that.
And the
old
rebate
school
on top.
mentality. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And that's like that shift of that old school mentality that no, the mortgage is not bad. You know what I mean? They can take advantage now. They're using what they have, that asset they worked so hard to build.
Bad debt.
Exactly,
Yes.
good debt versus bad debt. Now they're taking that good debt and now they're expanding across border.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Well, even with the rebates, a big one are energy rebates as well. And you get initial money up front right back to you, but then just the cost of operating your home has drastically reduced. If you look at technology 30 years ago today, it's night and day difference.
Yeah.
Like simple switch, LED lights, drastically different. Everything's more efficient in the house, more efficient air conditioners, furnaces.
Yeah. The cost to run the house with 10 times the lighting is half the cost that it used to be before the rental.
Right.
One of those old refrigerators is what the whole cost to run the new house is.
Yeah.
And people usually keep that fridge from 84 in the garage as a beer fridge. Throw it in the garbage. You can have a new fridge every year for what that thing costs to run.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
So true.
The lights dim when you open the door.
You get a little bit of a shock.
You got to look at all aspects when it comes to costs and renovations and energy and rebates and all that. There's so many moving parts and logistics that play to this. And when you just are fixated on that penny, if you chase that penny, that's all you're ever going to have.
Yeah.
So you got to think outside the box. And that's where we try to make people think outside the box and bring them in front of all the right people.
Right.
We have the same mentality, and that's why we love to work with guys like Heavy Duty Homes. I always say, I don't have money to buy cheap. You know, you're thinking you're saving some
Cheap
money.
is too expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think you're saving yourself money at the beginning, and then it's gonna cost you way more.
Always.
So like, do the things right. Use the professionals that you can trust, and as Phil and Phil say, like, we are priding ourselves in a very, very high customer service, because our best referral source is our happy clients.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you've got one unhappy client, he never comes back. You got a happy client, he tells all of his friends and family, and this is how you build a great business.
Yeah.
And that's for any industry, any sector, all across the board. I love
100%.
that, right?
Yeah, because I think that's where a lot of our companies are in common. Where I think you look for that cheap, the one man show, or that that solo broker. Like with us now, we grew the team with 50 years of institutional experience with our underwriting team.
Right.
You don't have it where it's just Phil and yourself on the job site and that's it. You have the professionals that it's like, yeah, maybe it is a little bit more of that upfront cost, but again, you're talking about the refrigerator, the light switch. It's long-term stuff that's just burning a hole that you don't realize.
One of the things we're dealing with right now, it's actually a big negative, is with the construction loans. Last year money was free, this year it's not.
Yeah.
So those interest rates are kind of killing the renovation and construction market a little bit, or hindering it for all those people that have to get that money loaned to them.
Right.
But it's hopefully to bounce back. You guys won't know a lot more than I do.
Right.
And how's the market in Miami? Tell us a little bit about that move.
Honestly, it's kind of the same of what we're going through here. Material pricing's hiked, everything's hiked. The thing is, in the U.S., I feel like people don't care. Nobody's really considering resale value. They're just trying to make a bang. They all have money to back up their ideas, and they wanna build a sick house or a sick commercial property or something. And it's nothing holds them back over there. Whereas in Toronto, everybody's a little more conservative and safe.
Yeah,
I would say. And
America.
Yeah, exactly.
Americans are all the cowboys.
Yeah, who cares?
5.7 heavy on that touch.
The American dream.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Here it's like, hey Phil, I got $50 a square foot. What could you get me?
Yeah, exactly.
And over there it's like, just dial it in. I want
they don't care.
marble walls.
You can get me a rebate. I don't want it. I
Well,
want to burn my money.
you know what? And we do sometimes get asked that question of like, are there risks of me claiming rebates and this and that? And again, that is the benefit of working with a company like ours. There are people that they want to maybe try doing it themselves and make a mistake on the application. They get disallowed and then they get zero. They come to us and say, okay, I've been disallowed for my rebate, can you help me? And we do, and there's an appeal process. An appeal process can take 1 to 2 years for us to appeal for someone that made a mistake on their application, or wanted to maybe in their own minds, do something some way that isn't actually the right way. So, we do get that question too, and that's one of the benefits of working with us too.
Yeah, so take us through that process of working with you guys. So, like, where do you start when they start? Like, does a certain amount of work have to be done?
Yes,
certain amount of receipts
so
collected?
exactly. Like the renovation should be substantially completed, ideally. And, we do get some people that are like, oh, I have, in 3 months, a plumber that's going to come and turn off a valve. Is that okay? So, always feel free to ask us the questions because we know the right way to steer you. So people either hear about us through their builder, like Heavy Duty Homes, or from their designer, or from a friend, however they get to us. We always set up a call as well to review the project details, to understand A, if they're eligible for the rebates, and B, make sure that we're going to get them the maximum amounts that they're entitled to.
Right.
We have that intro call. From there, we always require documents from the homeowners, receipts to back up the renovation, or building permit numbers, or. We get the information we need from them, and then all of the work is with us from A to Z. We do all of the spreadsheets, all of the itemizations, the descriptions, the scope of work. It is all with us. Takes us about 2 weeks to prepare and submit the applications. And then with the HST rebate, which is the largest, the $16,080, it's usually about 8 to 12 weeks until the client receives their money. And it comes as a direct deposit into their account. That's how we do it, where the homeowner will be the one receiving the rebate in full. And only after they receive the rebate in their accounts, that's when we charge our fee. So it's only on a contingency, only after they have, as Idan likes to say, the money in the bank.
It's a win-win.
Yeah.
Like in the end of the day, the client gets his money. He's only paying us once he's getting his money, and it's always a nice injection to get that money in the end of the process of the build or the reno, and then go and do those upgrades and
higher end finishes and whatever.
And aside of that $16,080, there's some other rebates that we do that can add another like $3,000 to $6,000 additional rebates. Some of them are very, very simple ones, and we do it complimentary. Some of them we charge a very small fee to do. In the end of the day, we just want to have happy clients. We make money, they're making their money, and we want them to refer us to all of their friends and families.
And also, 100%. And these days also, so many people come to us that are just, we joke we're like the Uber Eats of rebates. People have better things to be doing than filling out all the paperwork and the bureaucracy and the formulas and so on. Leave it to the experts. It's like, like someone saying like, can I install my dishwasher by myself? And, then you're flooding your beautiful kitchen. So it's the same way too, where people are just so busy these days that we are able to, in one call, confirm all of the rebates that they're eligible for, and away we go. We do all of the work on our end.
The timelines alone speak for why you should reach out to the experts. You have 8 to 12 weeks to get your rebate if you use them, or you have 1 to 2 years appeal process if you make a mistake on your paperwork. Trust the experts. Call them, get your money fast, get your money in the bank. Leave it up to the experts. It's the same with us. Every renovation we do, we'll hear someone, I've got an uncle who lays tiles. Okay.
Can you work him in?
Lose my number now.
But to be honest, like the biggest thing is with that, you want to have somebody you can call. Like I'm sure with Phil and Phil, once they finish a build and like 2 years later something happens in the house, God forbid, they call them, the next day they are there.
Yeah,
so you want to have,
absolutely.
you don't want to have like a fly-by-nighters that you have no idea if they're going to be there tomorrow.
Italy. He took off after.
It's 2022. People are charging the maximum amount everywhere possible, and they're giving the least amount of service. So all we can provide these days is service.
So
we
true.
pride ourselves on our service.
The knowing your numbers, right? Like if you're really good at what you do and you're an expert and you're busy, what you're charging yourself out at is very well deserved. But if you then put down that, and to go to your point on this one, Rachel, time is money. So it's in light of what would it cost, right? It's like if it took them, 4 or 5 hours to fill out that application and they still didn't do it right, and let's not even look at it, it's getting botched, and then to go to your point, it's going to take that 1-2 years to get it back. But how much money could you have made if you applied yourself to your craft and what you did running your business for the 5 hours? And and no matter again what industry, what sector, it doesn't make sense to not use an expert, right?
100%.
Any area, any area.
Yeah, absolutely. Even on the personal standpoint, we laugh about it, the whole penny pinching. I was bad with that. At first we started the business, I'm like, let me do this, let me do that, and then that's something that I learned from Nick. With his experience, it's like just pay the right people with it. Your time is valuable. Do the mortgages, get the clients that service again. We'll let someone else take care of whatever it is, the bookkeeping, accounting, all that stuff. So yeah, absolutely agree. Like that small fee to pay, who knows how much more they're losing out on by having to figure out that paperwork.
Yeah, funny story on that in regards to using the time efficiently and knowing your numbers and what the cost would be. I walked into Michael's office and seen he was on, I think you were on Amazon, right? Yeah, he was on Amazon, and he's looking at water bottles, right?
Costco.
It was a couple hours. I seen that on his screen.
What would it cost?
I said, what's going on here? He goes, I'm trying to save just a little bit more on these bottles of water. I said, listen, bro, there's an issue over here right now. How many files could we have closed out? What could we have been working at? So we have fun with it on an ongoing basis, but we're steady reminding each other, hey, that's not your job. That's not for you to do. And as we've been scaling the business, right, we're just, again, even internally as the company, we're leaving the experts to do what they specialize in, what they're good at doing. We have a marketing division, we have an underwriting division, we have an ops division, and just embracing one's strengths and really allowing them to spread their wings and have fun in that position, do what they're good at doing, allows you to simply
the key to any
stick
type
to
of
what you're
growth
good
and
at.
success is to let go.
Yeah.
You have to let go of the reins.
That's
And it's
quick.
a huge advantage for us, like to have guys like you on the financing side and guys like you on the build side to refer to our clients and like to know, I rest
Guys that
assured when I send my clients to you guys, I can sleep well at night. The client is being taken care of. And it reflects great on us, and this is how we all build our businesses.
Yeah, I promise I don't look at water bottle prices. It's my accounting background, anywhere I can save a buck.
Well, the big question of your show.
No Fiji water for you, okay?
No.
The question of your show is, what would it cost? It will always cost you more if you do not call the experts.
Love
Yes.
that.
So true.
This is
Yes.
a tagline. We haven't come up with a tagline
What
yet.
would it cost? More.
Period.
That's true.
I love that.
And what do you guys look like, or what do you guys look for in your financing arm? Someone that, or a party that is going to be the backbone of your financing. What is it that your expectations are?
They got to know
and
our
rely on?
product and what we're trying to do. So basically, a lot of guys have too many questions with dealing with Spark Financial, especially. There's almost no questions. It's you guys know what we're doing. We know what you're doing. Once our client's in your hands, we're hands off completely, and we get nothing but good reviews.
Appreciate that.
Awesome. I appreciate that.
So that's all we need. If we understand each other's businesses and positions, that's very important, is understanding the position and not talking against the other person's profession or about their profession.
Right.
That's kind of how everything's going to work properly.
Exactly. And I think that's really great, especially, when we're dealing even with other trades as well. In our industry, it's not that whole he said, she said. I think it's that perfect blend. It's like, they're the expert on that part. No, give Michael a call.
Yeah.
And they ask me, no, I don't know, give Phil a call. We'll just leave it at that. I'm just getting you the money. He's building the house.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So
Create
I
a
think-
partnership that works.
Exactly. You create that partnership.
Every
and it just
time you bounce that
feels
ball
smooth.
back, it's going to be caught properly.
Right.
And you know what I found is that because we are in the business of real estate and construction and financing, we are sure everybody knows a guy, but most people have no idea. And like when we refer somebody good to somebody, it's
They really appreciate
becoming like a lasting relationship, and they're like, it's exactly as you guys say, it's make or break if there's going to be a project or not.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's a breath of fresh air having someone else vet who you're contacting.
Right.
I vouch for that person. I know they're going to take care of you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're not tossing and turning in your sleep. You know, in the back of your head, whatever's happening in that room or in that meeting is what needs to be happening.
Yeah.
And you guys at Spark Financial, we're always bang on.
Yeah. Thank you.
Don.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys, for coming out today. We know you guys all have super busy schedules, so we really appreciate it, and we appreciate you adding that value to our viewers.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks,
Thanks
guys.
for having us.
Pleasure being here.
Yeah. So remember, guys, if you want some money back, HST Rebate Canada. If you want to build a badass home, heavy duty home.
Yes.
You got it.
Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Coming up on What Would It Cost?
Let's start with optimism. I
Yeah.
believe there's going to be a bright future ahead. Let's just say this is wherever we're going through now is what we're going through, and this is obviously caused by quantitative easing, printing out money, cheap money being lent out to people, and then obviously a supply issue with high demand. And a lot of people bought into houses that they couldn't afford, and this is the issue right now. The conversations we had with clients, friends, and family was like, well, they can't raise the interest rates because they don't want to, bog down the economy, or they don't want to do anything that sort. They don't want to, mess with our family, and that's not the case. They really don't care. These are black and white numbers, right? I think even like first-time buyers, and let's say where the market goes, where it ends up, first-time buyers are going to have the best opportunity.
Yeah.
And when that market finally bottoms, they got to buy in. They can't be, on the fence or anything. They got to be collecting cash right now, their coins.